I'm going to make mini salami and mozzarella pizza pockets. First, we need a really basic bread dough. So I've got 450 grams of pizza and bread flour here, and that goes straight into my mixer, along with some yeast and water. Now I've got 320 millilitres of warm water here, so lukewarm water, which is very important, with 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. What I've done is just allowed this to activate, so left it in a really warm spot, and you can see it starts to become really frothy like this. Before I add this to the flour, I need 2 teaspoons of salt, and you do want to add the salt to the flour. Mix it in first before we add the yeast. Give that a mix and incorporate that. And now we can start adding the yeast. So that goes all in, the yeast and water mixture. And with a dough hook attachment, we're going to start mixing this to form a dough. Now, I like to knead this for about 5 minutes or until a dough forms. Then we're going to place it in a bowl and just let it rest for about an hour until it doubles in size. So the dough has doubled in size, look at that. And now what we need to do is just knock it back a bit. So just with your hands, just detach it from that bowl there. Look at that, it's looking good. And what I'll do, just with a little bit of extra flour, always have a little bit of extra flour in case it's a little bit too wet. And then we're just going to also flour our board, just like that. We'll grab our dough. I've also got my scraper here again, just to make sure we get all of that dough out of the bowl. Looking good. And then what we do is just knead it just very briefly so it comes together just like that. And then you can either just spread it out with your hands, or I like to just have a rolling pin on standby and then just roll it out. And now with a cookie cutter, I have an 8cm cookie cutter here. We want to cut out some circles. So we'll start with a few just like this. And this is where the kids can really get involved. They can choose their own topping. So I'm starting off with some mozzarella, and I love this because we're actually going to fill it with the mozzarella. So we just want to cut this into little pieces, just like that, so it can fit in the centre. I've also got some olives for the topping and some Hungarian salami here, and we'll also cut it into small pieces. Just like that. You could use some hot salami also, or even some chorizo could work really well. Or you could even just keep them vegetarian. So we'll just cut that again. Get all your toppings ready to go to top the pizzas. So now I need a little bowl, some olive oil. I'm using my good quality extra virgin olive oil here so I can taste it. And what we do is get one little disc, just like that, of dough. Cup it in your hand. We'll get a little piece of mozzarella. In it goes, just like that. And this olive oil is going to act like our glue. So we'll just place a little bit of olive oil around the side, the other disc, and then what we do is just press the sides. So we've got a cheesy pizza pocket. These are so delicious. Okay, perfect. Now what I do is just press it down just slightly, just like that. And we can top it. So I've got a little bit of passata here. We'll just dollop a little bit on top. We'll get some of our salami. On it goes. I've got some Kalamata olives here, and they can just go around too. Some Parmesan. So just a little sprinkling on top there. So these are going to go into a really hot oven, around 240 degrees, for about 15 minutes or until they're really golden. In no time, our pizza pockets are ready, 15 minutes. You know, these are actually great to take in your lunchbox the next day. You could even do a little bit of bacon and cheese on them. That would be a great idea too. I also love to get a little bit of fresh basil just at the end and just freshly tear it over the top. I don't like to put the basil in the oven because it will start to burn. So just leaving it to the last minute is the key. But really, these are fantastic eaten straight away while they're still hot and gooey. And look at this, nice, sticky mozzarella there. That's what it's all about. I'm gonna have a taste. They are so good. You know, the most important part of these pizza pockets is a nice hot oven, so you got that crispiness on the outside and it's light and fluffy in the center. And of course, toppings. Make sure you choose really yummy toppings to make these the perfect pizza pocket.